Well, good evening, friends, and very, very warm welcome to each and every one of you all who are present here on time for this unique program, which is going to be for the first time hosted by the TERI Coastal Education Hub and the Navemarg Foundation jointly. To tell you a little bit facts, good evening, friends. Tell you a little bit about TERI Coastal Education Hub. This center, situated at Goa Velia, was inaugurated on the February 2019, and the main objective of this institution was basically to bring back the old traditions and revive back the bio traditional activities which were actually now being forgotten type of a thing. And fortunately, in the last year, that is in 2019, we had quite a few batches of students who had come to the center, means to our TERI Coastal Education Hub, and done a full day course on the various occupations which Dr. Fraddry is going to be explaining to you today. And this topic, what we have today, is a very, very interesting topic. And I'm sure many of them are already joining on the YouTube channel also. Some of you are here on the live on the Zoom channel. And not to waste much of your time, because we have already delayed by 15 minutes because of the waiting of the people to join in. So now to introduce to you our guest speaker for today, Dr. Fraddry de Souza. He is a fellow and area convener for the TERI Coastal Ecology and Marine Resources Center in Goa. But to joining TERI, he has worked as a scientific researcher in the TNO Science and Industry in Netherlands, where he has a 5 years working experience in marine industrial research areas. His most frequent subjects of interest are ranging from marine biofilm and aquaculture, water management and technology, coastal resources management, biodiversity assessment, microbiological influence corrosion. His research also includes working with community for livelihood diversification programs through capacity building and training under several demonstrations in aquaculture such as mussel culture, oyster cultivation, crab culture, and fish cage culture, which we incidentally happen to be doing it at the TERI Coastal Education Hub. He has received his PhD degree in microbiology from Goa University in the year 2004, wherein the entire research study was carried out at the National Institute of Oceanography, Goa, and also awarded the CSIR Senior Research Fellowship. He was awarded the European Erasmus Mundus Scholarship for Joint European Masters in Water and Coastal Management at the University of Algarve in Portugal, as well as in the universities in Spain. He has recently been awarded 2 Dutch fellowships for short courses. This was recently done, that is on responsible aquaculture development security, and second was wetlands and food scarcity or food security in the Netherlands. He has also served as a member of the Technical Advisory Committee of Goa State Pollution Control Board for a period of 3 years, and currently also the Technical Advisory Committee member of the Goa State Waste Management Corporation, a member of the Committee for Preparation of Draft Comprehensive Management Plan for the Fishing Community, Cousin Lands and Mangroves for the Government of Goa. He is also a visiting lecturer Department of Microbiology in the Goa University and has published more than 25 research papers in the national and international journals on various related to aquaculture. Today we have a very learned personality with a lot of experience in this field, and I'm definitely sure that with some ideas which he's going to share today, we are definitely going to get motivated and feel proud about what we have as far as Goa is concerned. We as Goans should feel proud of our environment, because just recently, like just 2 days back, I was just wondering, when I was in Panjim, we had a lot of tourists coming from Delhi and from North India into Goa. So just by chance, I happened to ask them, like, what is it that drives you all to Goa and not to any other place in India? Why is that all of you from Delhi are coming to Goa? And the answer that he gave me was a really surprising one, wherein he said, this is the only place where we can breathe clean air. At least we don't need to wear mask actually over here. Like when we are not following the social distancing, Whereas in Delhi, we used to wear mask even much before the coronavirus came. In the sense, the pollution and the air pollution is so bad that you can't actually breathe properly in Delhi. So we in Goa are much fortunate that we have a clean environment, but we need to maintain it, because if we want to maintain the name of Goa, environment is the only thing that can spoil its name. And if we don't maintain our natural biodiversities, if we don't maintain all these means the Kazan lands, as well as all what Dr. Fraddry is going to teach all today, we as Goans will definitely lose our richness that we have. So not to waste much of your time, I would actually request now Dr. Fraddry to take over and introduce our TERI Coastal Education Hub, as well as the topic, which is the hot cake for today, that everybody would like to learn about aquaculture. Now, those of you who miss it can also watch it on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe it, and then you can even share the video to all your friends across the country or even abroad if anybody is there who has an interest in aquaculture. So the entire thing is available live on the YouTube channel, Navemarg Foundation Live. So you can watch it live on that if in case you're finding it difficulty through Zoom, or you can even watch it later any time of the day, because it will be uploaded on it. So over to you, Dr. Fraddry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Souza, for my detailed introduction. I hope I'm audible now.
Yeah, it's audible. Only increase slightly the volume. That's all. Means your volume. It is audible.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me upload the presentation. Okay. As Dr. Souza has mentioned that today's topic is on aquaculture, and what it is an ocean opportunity for us. So basically this, as Dr. Souza mentioned, is one of the series which we are trying to come from the TERI Coastal Education Hub, which he has just introduced you shortly. I will also give some details about that, what is about the TERI Coastal Education Hub. But my more detailed program will be on aquaculture opportunities. So before going into the detail, I just wanted to introduce TERI. Many of you all may not be knowing what is TERI is about and what it's doing. TERI is a non-profit innovative research institute, and it's carrying out mostly applied research to the development and benefit to the society and large. And most of our work is to the sustainable concept, you can say. And our 80 to 90% of our research goes more to the benefit to the society, and around 10% you can say directly to the industry. So mostly we work with for the development and benefit to the society. And if you see down, you see the different areas where we are working in on energy, we are working on agriculture, we are working on environment, habitat like green building, then resource security. Of course, climate change is our main thing, and health and nutrition also. So these are the topics where TERI works on, and we have a regional center. Our head office is in Delhi headquarter, but we have several regional offices. One of them in Goa, located at Alto Santa Cruz, Bambolim. And we have several other offices like in Mumbai, we have in Bangalore, we have in Guwahati. So we are across the India, many other offices are there. So our workforce is, you can say, the more than 1,000 people are working in TERI, and many of them are researchers. Now coming back to Dr. Souza has introduced you about the TERI Coastal Education Hub, which was launched last year in February. What exactly is we are doing at this TERI Coastal Education Hub is giving the experience of Goa coastal resources, what we have. And many of us, when we come to Goa, I mean, when many of us thinking about Goa is mostly like things about the beach ecosystem, but we have other coastal resources which are needs to be, get aware of it across. So what we highlight at this TERI Coastal Education Hub is some of the ecosystem which are there at that in Goa Valley, such as mangrove ecosystem, Kazan ecosystem. Then we also make a boat tour in the creek ecosystem. Then how traditional solar salt farming is done. We also have an aquatech park over there where we are demonstrating different aquaculture technology, and that's what I will speak to you some after some time. And also some other sustainable technologies we showcase over there, including organic farming practices. So soon we are also going to start our aquaculture training program at this hub. And together with the Navemarg Foundation, we also promote financial literacy over here, whoever comes at the Coastal Education Hub. Now, if we have time, we can at the end I can put up a movie of the TERI Coastal Education on TERI Coastal Education Hub. Now, when I say aquaculture, which is my topic for discussion today, when TERI promotes anything, as I mentioned, TERI works for sustainability, and we promote responsible aquaculture. Sometimes if you don't do its responsibility, it can have a lot of effect on the ecosystems. Like many people change the habitat, they change the mangroves into the ponds by cutting the mangroves. Then if you feed extra aquaculture feed to the fish and all, you can get a eutrophication problem. If you more antibiotics and all, if you use in this, you can get a effect on the other biodiversity present. Then there could be transfer of disease. These are some of the effects which we like to minimize through responsible aquaculture. Now, today's topic overview, what I'm going to present is the basic of aquaculture and how aquaculture production is in India and across the world also to a little extent, and type of aquaculture and technologies in aquaculture which we can use in Goa, like the scope which we have for aquaculture scope with using these technologies. I will discuss a bit of that also. So these are my overview topics which I will cover. Now, what is aquaculture? Now, why I put this slide, I would like to mention, see, many of students who were coming at the Coastal Education Hub, they didn't know about what is aquaculture and what you can do with it. Like, so they didn't even have that. Many of them didn't know what aquaculture is and how you can do it. Like, so I just wanted to just highlight in some 2-3 slides, like what is aquaculture about. Now, aquaculture just like agriculture, it is also a farming activities, but in this case, the farming is aquatic organisms. It can be plants or it can be animals. Okay, and it has to be done under controlled condition or under semi-controlled conditions. Now, the organism which normally you cultured are like fish. You can see the fish culture. Then crustaceans. Crustaceans are nothing but the prawns and the crabs and all. Then mollusks are nothing but shellfish, clams, mussels, oysters, which comes under mollusk. And of course, aquatic plants, which are seaweeds and all, which you see on the coast. So those are also farmed. So this farming of all this fish and the aquatic plants is called aquaculture. So normally you produce them in large quantity, just like you put the just like you produce the agriculture products. So here you see the oysters, fish, prawns, and seaweeds, which are cultured, which can be cultured in a large quantity. So that is aquaculture. Now, if you go in the terms exactly, like it is mostly like a breeding and rearing of the fish, shellfish, or plants in all types of water, whether it's pond, river, lakes, and also in the confined environment. And then you directly harvest as a product. Now, when you talk about the breeding, you talk about having the lot of offspring fish. That is what is fish seed. So it is a which are produced from the hatchery. So some new terms, some of all may have a new terms, but this breeding is nothing but having the offspring so that you can culture it. And the rearing is a phase where you're trying to grow them to the marketable size. My next slides will give you what is breeding and what are fish seeds and rearing means. So normally in the hatchery, you produce a broodstock and you produce the fry and fingerling. These are the words which are used, or fish seed. And these fish seeds are then reared to come into the adult to grow them, and that is what is aquaculture is. So this could be animals, aquatic animals, or aquatic plants. Now coming, so that's about the aquaculture. Some of the key nutrient which can come from the sea, from the fish. So if you see that 2 fish meals per week can decrease mortality in heart problem by 50%. So these are some of the important elements of the seafood. Now, if you go for the other why aquaculture, it is like capture fishery is basis aquaculture. If you see capture fisheries from 1994 is almost static. We are not. It's almost static from 1994. You have more consumption of the fish, but there is no much capture fisheries. But aquaculture is actually growing exponentially. You can see the aquaculture is growing from 1980 to now. It is still growing, and it is actually today we have more fish produced from the aquaculture than the capture fisheries. Capture fishery is nothing but what trawlers and canoes and all caught in the directly from the fish. So in 2018, if you see, aquaculture production is higher than the capture fishery. So this is also an opportunity like for the aquaculture, because there is a demand. And if you see the demand, the rise in global aquaculture production has rise from 1990s to 2018 is almost 527%, and the consumption is also increased by more than 100%. So there are more consumption of fish, but capture fishery is almost static. So aquaculture is the only thing which can sustain. I mean, for the consumption. So you see the importance of aquaculture as a supplement of the protein and important nutrients. Now, as I mentioned, your aquaculture production is already gone up more than the capture fisheries. Now, what is produced more? Now, if you see the world global aquaculture production, the major species is fish, which is produced, and the second major species is seaweed and algae. And to tell you, in Goa, we have not started producing seaweed and algae in Goa. So there is a huge opportunities in Goa to produce this seaweeds and algae, which is a simple technology, which I'll show you all later on. And the next is mollusk, which is nothing but shellfish, and the cello is the crustacean, that is crabs and prawns and all. So this is the production, aquaculture production, which is global. And the right hand side is the value. But if you see the value wise, the prawns and crabs has more value than the seaweeds and all. But many things are upcoming in the seaweeds, in the nutraceuticals and pharmaceutical and also. So it will also go higher as we grow it more. Now, another thing I just want to mention is that what about if you see top 10 countries in aquaculture production, India is actually second in aquaculture production already. I mean, we are second, but if you see the China, we are producing 7.1 million tons of aquaculture fish compared to China, which is 47.6 million tons. So it's a large difference, but there is a lot of opportunities also for us. But what we produce more in aquaculture production in India is mostly, if you see, is fresh water. That is freshwater fish. And we have ample of brackish water and marine water across India and also across Goa. So we have a lot of brackish and marine water which we have not tapped in. So there is a lot of potential in both of this systems. So this is aquaculture production in India. Now, which are the, as you see, the top 10 species which are produced are mostly the freshwater fish, like katla and rohu, which are freshwater fish. Top three are mostly freshwater fish, and the white leg shrimps is nothing but the brackish water shrimps, that is prawns, which is also the fourth production in India. But the rest mostly are all freshwater. So we are producing more freshwater fish than the marine species. So there is a lot of potential to go for the marine species, and that's what TERI also want to promote in brackish water and marine production. Now, coming back to the types of aquaculture. Now, what are the different types of aquaculture? You know the production, you know what is aquaculture, and what are the different types of aquaculture are there. So now, depending on the water system, you can have a aquaculture in a pond. You can have aquaculture in the creek or river. You can have aquaculture in the semi-closed recirculating system like Kazan, which we were doing aquaculture for a long time by taking water in and maintaining we can take the water in and out of the Kazan through the sluice gate. So you have this type of system where aquaculture can be easily carried out. So this is one of the type of, based on the water system, you can have this type of aquaculture. Now, based on the water, whether it's a freshwater, mariculture is nothing but the open ocean. Brackish water is nothing but estuarine or the backwaters. Brackish waters are the backwaters, which Goa also have a lot. So which we can tap for the aquaculture. Another type of aquaculture, it is a cultured groups like, so I've not mentioned about ornamental fish culture. This is also one type of culture where ornamental fishes are produced. And then you have the finfish culture. Finfish, all the fish, shellfish, mussels, oysters comes in that. Algae cultures, which can be microalgae, seaweeds, and some aquatic plant culture, which are also used in the aquariums and all. You use the aquatic plants, so you can culture those also. Now, another type of aquaculture you can say is monoculture. When you produce only one type of species, and polyculture, where you produce 2 or 3 different types of species. I have one example about polyculture. And another type of aquaculture is integration of aquaculture with other farming system. There are in Kerala and all, they integrate the agriculture with aquaculture also, where they grow the fish along with the agriculture. And sometimes with the animal husbandry, you can have an aquaculture along with the ducks or poultry, and also you can have, these are integrated aquaculture. Another type of, based on the effort you put, you can say you can have an extensive fish culture, you can have semi-intensive fish culture, and you can have intensive fish culture. Now, what is extensive fish culture is that in our Kazan ecosystem, many of us mostly go for the extensive fish culture, where we take the water with the fish seeds in, and then we just leave it. We don't put the feed and all. We just leave them to grow. So that is extensive fish culture. And then the second one is semi-intensive fish culture, which you may take the fish inside, and you may feed with the aqua feed, but not in large quantities, so that it affects the water quality. I mean, it's a semi-intensive in the sense the water quality is maintained with less feed. And the third one is intensive fish culture, where you where the water quality has to maintain because your fish is also more there, and you put a lot of artificial feed there along with the natural. It's mostly artificial feed is in intensive fish culture. It is mostly artificial feed, and here you have to maintain the all water qualities and all, which I will explain you all at the end of this presentation, where you have to maintain the oxygen level and all with the aerators and also. That's normally when intensive fish culture is. In the terms of extensive, first one is mostly the fish is a natural feed, is it's a natural feed. So these are the different types of aquaculture. Now I want to now based on these different types, you can have different methods based on the different system. You can have the different technologies used in this system. So let's discuss some of the methods or technologies you can say in aquaculture. Now, if you as I mentioned you, when you do the fish culture, mollusk is nothing but the shellfish. Crustaceans are nothing but the crab, prawns, and aquatic plants, seaweeds. And these are the different methods where you can culture uh, culture these species. Like for finfish, you can have a cage culture, pond culture, raceway culture. You can also have a tank culture where RAS and biofloc system. This I will tell you what exactly it is. So these are some of the technologies which you can use for the fish. For the shellfish, you can use the raft cultures, bottom cultures, and then hanging culture, even land-based culture. In tank culture, you can grow shellfish. You don't need just water itself, but if you are in the vicinity of the water, you can have a land-based. You can do the culture of shellfish on land using the tanks. Similarly, for crabs, prawns, you can do in pond, cage, raceway culture. So all these terms you will know in the next slide, subsequent slides, you will know what exactly it means. And seaweeds also, long line culture, raft culture, bottom culture, and tank culture. So each one I will, some of them I will just highlight. The one which I'm highlighting here is the one which we can easily adopt in Goa also. So now this is cultivation of mollusk, like cultivation of shellfish. You can do it by just hanging them, the seeds in the water, either through the raft or rack, and then they grow. One of the best thing about this cultivation of the shellfish or is that, and even for the cultivation of the aquatic plants, you don't need to feed them. So no feeding is required. They are natural. Uh, they are filter feeders, and whatever is there in the water, they will just filter it when you do it in the pond or when you do it in the uh, creek or in the ocean. So you don't have to directly feed them. But if you do in the tanks, then of course you have to feed them. That is land based. So as I mentioned, you aquatic plants also. You can have long line hanging. There's a long line culture or bottom culture and floating raft culture. So these are the simple culture where is vegetative, it is just a vegetative propagation. So you have to just put them once and then leave it for some time till they grow. In 3-4 months they will grow it. And in the case of the fish and all, they will grow within 6-7 months. So aquatic plants grow faster than this. So you can, and these are the simple method to culture it. We haven't tried much in Goa till now, this seaweed culture. So this has a lot of potential because in Goa we have a lot of brackish water and coastal areas are there where production can take place. Now I was mentioning you in the land-based tank culture of this. What you see over here are these are the seeds of oysters. So these seeds of oysters, when you put in the tanks, you need to feed them with the algae. And these algae are grown in the pond. You can see here the algae are grown in this pond, and they are from this pond they are passed it through the tanks, and where they are grown. And this is nothing but a land-based culture you can do of the shellfish, mussels, and clams. So many of the shellfish can be done on land-based tank culture. Now, raceway technology is haven't used in much in India also, but this is nothing but you see the photos with the raceway where the culture is done in the raceway, and you can see you can stack it one above the other also over here. So this is a raceway technology, and most of this technology needs recirculatory aquaculture system. I will come back to that, what it means. But these are some of the technologies which can be used for the fish culture. Another technology is a biofloc technology, which is upcoming technology in India. And what exactly it is that, as you know, when you grow a fish in large quantities, one of the thing is that you get a lot of waste. And the waste, that is unused food, when you put a lot of food, some of the food feed get unused, so it comes as a waste. And of course the waste from the fishes and all, their excreta also has a lot of ammonia, nitrate and nitrite, which can affect the water quality. Now this is a main part in aquaculture, and once you have uh, this type of ammonia and all, it can affect the fish immediately, and the fish, your culture can die soon. And another thing is that dissolved oxygen, and this along with the dissolved oxygen, if it is less, then there is high mortality in the aquaculture. But to prevent this, one of the technology is biofloc technology is used, where you add a lot of carbon source and you make other organism to grow in that system. And that all, those organisms are nothing but the bacteria and phytoplanktons and all, and they utilize this ammonia, nitrate and nitrite and convert it into nitrogen, which is back into the atmosphere. So you maintain the water quality of this system in the tank itself where the aquaculture is happening. So wherever the aquaculture, in the aquaculture tank, you do this addition of carbon source to have this technology, which maintain the quality of water. And in this system you need a lot of aeration, of lot of aeration. Now another thing is the recirculatory aquaculture system. I was mentioning you many times, like recirculatory system. It is similar to the biofloc system, but in biofloc system you do everything, you add the carbon source and maintain the water quality. But in the recirculatory aquaculture system, you actually take out that water, which is water quality is gone down because of the unused uneaten feed and the fish waste, and there you treat it separately in the different tanks. You have a biofilters with the different tanks, and then you remove the ammonia, nitrate and nitrite, which is the same thing when which is removed as a nitrogen, and then you pass the oxygen and recirculate the water. So these are nothing but a recirculatory aquaculture system. So you can see this biofloc system and recirculatory aquaculture system can easily adopt in the tank environment, rather than even the open pond or in the. So these are more easily can be taken up in the tanks environment. So these are some of the technologies which we can use up for the aquaculture. Now, what I mentioned is some of this technology. What is the scope of it in Goa? Now, even if you see the capture fisheries in Goa is just one 127,000 tons, but the aquaculture production in Goa is just 86 tons, which is very low. And mostly most aquaculture is a fresh prawns aquaculture, brackish water, and freshwater aquaculture. But we have a lot of opportunities for aquaculture in Goa, as we have a lot of coastal aquaculture, brackish water aquaculture can be done. And these are the one what I mentioned you earlier are very low in India. We have already good in freshwater aquaculture, but less in marine and brackish water aquaculture. So we have in Goa 7 major rivers and other minor rivers where estuarine creek systems can be used for the aquaculture system. Then we have a Kazans, which land which are affected by the salt, which are badly affected by the salt. This thing can be used for the aquaculture. And some of the mining reject pits and quarries where are there, or almost 200 hectares are there. This is from the ICR report, where freshwater aquaculture can be done. But here, because of the toxicity, you can think about of metals and all. You can think about the ornamental aquaculture can be practiced over here. Now coming back, what are the scope of aquaculture in Goa? Like we have done mussel culture on the floating rafts. It's one of the technology where you can put the floating rafts, and you can do this in the estuary itself. So we have done this in the Riversal estuaries, where mussels were grown in the estuary using the floating raft method. So this is a floating raft of 5 by 5, and you can grow almost almost 50 ropes like this of the mussels in this 5 by 5 5 by 5 meter of the raft. So this we have already done in estuarine environment. We have also done in the creek environment, this same thing, floating raft in the creek environment. Also we have done mussel culture. We have also done in mussel culture in the floating rafts in the ponds also. So you can do this along with the other fish. So you can have other fish in the pond, and you can do also the mussel culture by having the floating rafts or the racks also. If the depth is less, you can have racks. If the depth of the pond is more, you can have the floating rafts. And easily these mussel cultures can be easily done. And why we are promoting mussel cultures is that you don't need to feed them. There is no feed involved in no feeding is involved. Only the initial work to put up this ropes on the raft, and they have to just manage them. And you get a seed from like from 2 to 3 centimeter. You can get it within 6 months, a marketable size of the mussels. So this we already practiced in the estuarine, in the creek, and even in the pond. So this is a culture which can easily be done in Goa. Another cultivation of the crab also we have tried in Goa. I mean, you can have the crab cultivation in the pond, but you have to, you see here the pond which is completely covered with the tarpaulin, this thing, so that they don't escape. The crabs doesn't escape from the pond, so you have to cover it. Another thing is that you can have a cage box culture, like where each one crab can be grown in these boxes. So this is also possible in Goa easily with for the crabs. And we have this demonstration done in Goa. Another is their oyster cultures. This is also another culture. Doesn't need feeding, and you can do it in the tray. Just in the what you see over here, you can just put the small oysters in the tray, and then they will grow. They will grow big, and only oysters in Goa will need almost more than a year, like to grow to the marketable size. But mussels can grow very quickly in 5 to 6 months. But it can be done in Goa. We have also done the cage culture of pearl spot fish culture. This is there at the educational hub where you can grow the pearl spot fish in this cages, and you can do it in the estuarine environment and also in the pond where there is good depth is there. You can do also easily over the cage culture. You can do it. Even Department of Fishery government in Goa, they have done the cage culture, reservoir cage culture in the reservoir in Chapoli Dam. They have done this cage culture in the reservoir. So you can, if you have a big pond and all, you can easily do the cage culture type of in the fresh water. These are fresh water. And the similar concept you can also use in the brackish water also with the brackish water fish. Another thing which fishery department has tried is open cage culture. This is open sea cage culture where they have tried sea bass in Polem, that is in Kanakona. It is put directly into the sea. So this what you see mostly the different technologies what I have mentioned now is more highlighting the mariculture or brackish water culture. So we like to promote more mariculture and brackish water culture. We have that enough resources present in Goa, so we can promote. We can go for this type of aquaculture. Now, even Goa government has different schemes to promote these cultures. Like I have mentioned some of this. Like there are schemes for ornamental fish unit. There are schemes for backyard ornamental fish for the individual can put in the backyard. Then open sea cage culture also there are schemes. Then installation of cages in the reservoir also there is a scheme for that. Then establishment of small and medium RAS systems. RAS system is not very common in Goa, and also the biofloc systems are not common. But we like to promote the biofloc system in Goa, which is quite uh, why we want to promote the biofloc system is that in biofloc system the water uh, there is a zero water discharge. So once you've taken the water into the tank, it's a minimum water you have to recharge it. Whereas in the case of the RAS system, it is 10% where the water you have to put. But in the biofloc system, it's you can say it is zero water discharge system. So this is what we want to promote also and it can be easily done in Goa. Uh, it can be a land-based culture also. If you have a land close to the water system, you can easily do this biofloc system. I already given so many example of bivalve cultivation, mussels, clams. Mussels I've already given. So similarly, you can do for clams, oysters. So for this also there is a scheme from the Goa government and also from the central government. And also there is crab farming unit also you can have, there's a scheme for that. And of course those who go for the extensive pond cultures and brackish water, so there are schemes for this also. So there is a lot of opportunity you see, and we have already the resources which are already there. So this system can be easily, and these schemes can be easily taken up to do this type of different aquaculture technologies, and you have the different resources which are there. Now, just coming for what is the requirement for the successful aquaculture? Now, for a successful, if anyone wanted to start the aquaculture, you need a good site for it. You need a quality seedlings. You need a seedlings means the fish seeds or mussel seeds or oyster seeds and all. The water quality should be good over there. It should not be close to the sewage or the industrial output and all. And appropriate feed management is quite important. And of course, not anyone can just start it. You need some technical input for that. So you need a technical person for doing that. Now, if you see, one of the main thing of the aquaculture is the feed. Feed cost is the largest single expense of that. So we in TERI try to do research on this where the feed cost can be reduced. I'll show you in the next slides. But feed is the main cost in the aquaculture system, and some of the steps here are the quick steps, like you prepare the site, you check the water quality, you need a fish seeds. But the main thing is feed management and water quality management in the aquaculture. Feed management and water quality management is the main thing. So I just want to highlight, I don't want to go in details because you really need to do some courses for this to learn the aquaculture, how to be done. And some of the main important water quality, as we know, everyone needs oxygen. So dissolved oxygen is the main thing for the aquaculture, and pH and all this water quality, where ammonia and nitrite, which are produce excreta from the fish and all, you have to maintain that. So all this is can be learned through some courses, and also you can maintain the water quality parameters in the aquaculture system. So for example, your DOs, dissolved oxygen, should be more than 5 or more than 4 as such, to be on the safer side. Otherwise there will be huge mortality. So dissolved oxygen is a major thing in the aquaculture. So these are some quick parameters which I just wanted to mention here. Another thing is that opportunity is that, as I mentioned, you need a quality fish seeds also. So development of hatchery is also an opportunity here in Goa. We don't have any hatchery of any type. But not only hatchery, but nursery also is required in Goa, because to get the quality fish seeds from the other states, it is quite expensive. And here in Goa, fishery department is maintaining some of the freshwater nurseries, this thing, but we don't have hatchery. So still we need to get fish from the other state for the culture. So there is an opportunity in hatchery and nursery also in Goa. So this is also, so you need fish brooders, and then the fries are nothing but the small fish. When they grow to a nursery, to the fingerlings, where they are as a fish seed, they are sold. Now, as I mentioned you, that feed is a main ingredient for the aquaculture. In TERI, in Goa, we are developing aquafeed from algae, where we are trying to see if the algae can be used in the aquafeed as one of the supplement, which can reduce the cost of the feed. And we have a testing set up in Goa for this, and currently we got some algae which can be used as a in the preparation of the feed. So this is ongoing now, but there are chances that this aquafeed can be developed by using the algae. So once one of the main, as I mentioned you, the expenditure in aquaculture is the feed. It's a feed. So if you can have the low cost feed, then the aquaculture can be further boosted. So basically, as I mentioned, you need a technically person to do this aquaculture. We wanted to come out with some of the training courses. We are soon coming out with the green mussel and oyster culture training program, and also in the biofloc technology in aquaculture. These are the program we are going to start very soon. And later on, we may also start the aquafeed preparation program also, so that a small scale, a farm scale aquafeed can be produced, and which can reduce the cost of the aquaculture drastically. So we will be coming up with that program also later on. So this two training course will be starting very soon. Because of the lockdown, we are just postponing it. We're looking for the right opportunity to take it up, but we will most probably end of this next month or next year. Beginning of the next year, we are going to start these courses. Yeah, thank you. So this was a short introduction and opportunity for the aquaculture potential in Goa. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Fraddry. Really nice, enlightening, because even I myself learned a lot of things today. And the opportunity is really huge. In fact, I feel that if we really promote this program, definitely there will be a lot of people, especially staying in the coastal areas, who will definitely like to know something about this. So only thing is now, because of that problem regarding the lockdown, we could not have these courses. But I'm looking forward to organizing these courses for the students, especially those who are staying towards the coastal areas. Like you can say, like the beach side, like Kolva, Benaulim, and all the entire coastline in such a big coastline. And there are many people residing very close where they have this brackish waters available. So if we can actually do this program on a much bigger scale, like by having these courses, once the courses are done, then automatically we'll be able to implement those things. And actually speaking, one slide which we should have stressed little bit more, I feel, is how much of grants are available from the government side to do such things. But nobody is utilizing these grants. The grants are available from the central government, they're available from the state government, but I wonder how many people are utilizing it. So if you can, let's stress little bit more on those grants available, like what exactly we have for the opportunity that we are getting here in Goa.
Yeah, there are actually, as I mentioned you, these are some of the my screen is still shared, right?
No, no, we can't see the screen.
Just hold on, please. Yeah, now you can see, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So these schemes are running for actually for a long time, and some of these schemes which were there from which were there before, even the 4-5 years before, are the bivalve cultivation mussels and all. Whether long back state government has promoted this. Trap farming also was there for last 3, 4, 5 years, and ornamental was also there, and this establishment of open sea cage culture and the, cage culture. These are newly introduced by the central government. RAS system, biofloc, and cage culture in the reservoir also was there, but it is from the central government schemes now. But many of these other schemes were there from the beginning of the state government also. Now, for example, if somebody wants to do the mussel culture, government is giving 2 rafts, what I've shown you, 5 by 5.
Mm.
This type of rafts, you can put 5 by 5, 2 of them, and you get almost quite 60% subsidy on that. So the subsidy is not 100%, but 40 to 60% is a subsidy is there on this type of this. So the subsidy is 40 to 60%. Like for example, if you want to go about biofloc system, the subsidy can be for the 7 lakhs. You can have some 7 tanks and all of the biofloc. So the subsidy is like you're talking about on 7 lakhs something, and of that you will get 40 to 60% of the subsidy on that. Even for RAS system, it is same. So most of the systems, even for the open sea cage culture, is also has a huge expenditure in that, but much of it is with the schemes. So the schemes are 40 to 60%, most of them, and quite a good amount. It's not a small amount.
Okay. So any questions? Because you can unmute your mics. Means I have liberty to unmute your mics. So if you have any questions you want to ask Dr. Fraddry, any questions, please go ahead and can ask them. It will be most happy to answer them. Any questions from the participants who are there at present? Okay. So no questions. Okay, I would like to ask, like, now, how do we get in touch with organize this program if in case a college wants to bring their students, and when can we start? Like, what is the number because of this lockdown, like social distancing? What is the total number of students that we can bring for this?
No, these like biofloc culture course is for almost for a week, so 5 days course it is. So it has a lot of things to study. But for the mussels and oyster cultures can be 1.5 day course like. So, and the student numbers we have to look like not more than 20, I would say. So 10 to 20. So because of the social distance we have to maintain.
Okay. So how do we get in touch if in case we want to do any bookings for the courses?
We will send the brochures out very soon. I mean, you will see the advertisement of the brochures from TERI for this.
Okay.
I can send you also, then you can send it across to your groups.
Yes, sure.
That they can join.
And anything regarding the costing per student for these courses, anything is decided?
Costing means for the aquaculture, for the mussels and oyster cultures, it will be 5,000 for 1.5 day, like this thing. And for the student, we can reduce some. And for the biofloc, actually, biofloc technology is not so very easy. So it is completely hands-on training. And for biofloc, what we are planning to do is the participant who are really interested to go for and taking up the government scheme on that should join this thing, because it will be little expensive in the sense we are going to give them a seed and a feed to try at home before they start in the big this thing. So this will cost to 8 to 10,000 for the biofloc technology for the 5 days course. But in that, we are going to give the feed and the seed and how to make the biofloc at home in the small aquarium. Like, so that is the hands-on training we are going to give in that culture, that course.
Okay.
Biofloc course will be completely hands-on.
Okay.
And so that they directly take the scheme from the Goa government.
Yeah, that's great, because at least the schemes are available and the technology, we have to try and understand this concept much better.
Yeah.
So any more questions from any participant? Okay, since there are no questions, I would like to say a very, very big thank you to Dr. Fraddry for sparing his valuable time and coming in front of our group here to share all the knowledge with regards to aquaculture. In fact, it was an eye-opener for us that we know now at least what are the different terms and conditions that are required, or like what are the different types of waters that are there, and especially the opportunities that we have in this industry. So it was a very good eye-opener for us. So thank you, Dr. Fraddry, for sharing your knowledge with us. In fact, this video will be uploaded on the YouTube and we will be circulating it all over, in the sense through all the groups that we have. And we will definitely be watching this once again on the YouTube channel of Navemarg Foundation Live. So we will forward it to you, TERI, also, and you can actually circulate it also to all the schools and colleges wherever they have shown interest with regards to this program. So on behalf of Navemarg Foundation, once again, I would like to thank all of your participants over here who have made your time and kept us in this so that we can participate and learn something different. On behalf of Navemarg, for us, it's an opportunity that we have of doing something different from the financial field, because we are basically specialized in finance and we are more into this financial literacy. But this TERI Coastal Education Hub is one of our social responsibilities which we are doing as far as Navemarg Foundation, because this TERI Coastal Education Hub is fully funded by Navemarg Foundation. And that is how we are actually, as far as the infrastructure is concerned, of course, that TERI is also involved in it as far as the maintenance is concerned. So we from Navemarg Foundation, our commitment to do something back to the society. Because as I say always, the more you give, the richer you become. So rich is not how much you have, rich is how much you give. So by even sharing your knowledge and even changing the life of one person, it can give you a big satisfaction. So thank you once again and wish you all a great evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sir.
Yeah, thank you.